Ethan from Rec Room Recording, and I just wanted to talk to you again about different income streams as an artist and how to make money as an artist. So today I'm going to kind of cover just Music Marketing 101 and just kind of like a high-level view of how you as an artist can sell your music, how you can get people to support you. We've talked about alternate revenue streams in the form of sync music, of being hired as a music producer, as being hired as a studio musician. And I think those are all great and great sources of income, and you can even just make that your own career. But right, a lot of people are musicians, they're artists, and they want to know kind of how to sell their music. So this is kind of just a high level, like I said, overview, and just gives you an idea of what marketing could look like for you. So before I get into that, if you've liked these videos, if you're interested in learning more about a certain topic in what I've talked about this week, I'd love to hear from you. If you want to comment on the video or send us a message and just let us know if you want to learn more about something. I'll also be sending out a poll in our story on Facebook and Instagram just to get an idea of what people would want to learn about because the videos are fun to make and we really want to help you as an artist be able to make a career, make some money with your music. And that's something that we just enjoy talking about. So yeah, so let me switch over here and get it to it. What is marketing for music looking like? So I'm going to kind of cover what basically content marketing. So content marketing is something that you may have heard of before, and it's basically providing content to people instead of just advertising or just selling right away, right? So this is kind of a slower marketing, but there's not as much cost involved. There's time, and it builds a lot of trust, right? So you're giving people something, and in exchange, they're giving you their trust, their email address, maybe their phone number, things like that, because they trust you and they want to follow you on the journey, right? And so that is something that I think is really big today, and especially with online and selling, people don't really trust online sales still in the form of like they trust the system and that their money is going to go where it says it's going to go, but people sometimes selling. You have a lot of people, with advertising on YouTube or Facebook saying, "Hey, I'm going to make $1 million for you. Just click here." It makes it kind of scammy and it ruins marketing for a lot of other people and makes it seem just kind of not very, great. So yeah, so what does content marketing look like, right? So you're making content. So you as a musician or an artist, right, are going to be making music. That's your content. And so video is a big component of that content, right? So posting videos on your Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Reels on maybe TikTok or Instagram are super popular right now. And it's something that you're getting people's attention, right? So this is kind of like the top of the funnel. And funnel seems like a lot of people think that's a bad word, right? But you're trying to encourage people to follow you on a journey and make steps to show their support to you, while also kind of continuing on with you. So this is kind of top of funnel. People are seeing your content. Now, big things with content are staying consistent, right? Posting every week or every month. You decide what kind of frequency you want to post, but you need to be consistent. And people start to trust people they see show up every week, right? Me personally, with like Rec Room and stuff, we had been consistent, then not consistent. We're trying to be consistent again, right? Because we want to earn trust with people and earn trust with artists, and that's easily or not easily done, but that's done through consistency. And the frequency of content, isn't really as big of a deal. Like you can spend a lot of time making a bunch of reels and doing a bunch of videos, but I'd suggest at least doing something once a week. And also, in addition to creating content, if you're going to be on social media, instead of just scrolling or just maybe being like kind of like someone just in the background, I'd suggest providing value with people. So from your artist profile, liking other people's photos, commenting on it, right? People care way more about themselves than your art in a lot of cases, which is the case with everything. And you speaking into their life and encouraging them or providing value to them really goes a long way and helps them remember you. And when you, in turn, post something or create something, they're going to be interested in what you have to say or what you're trying to produce. So that's kind of the first thing, right? Content, which makes sense because it's content marketing, right? The second thing is give people a reason to, take a next step with you, follow you further, right? And that's normally done through like an email list or like a text list. Um, but I would really suggest not just, putting like a blanket statement on your website like, hey, subscribe to our newsletter to hear more about us. I mean, that's not bad, and at least you're doing something, but it's going to be a major turnoff to like a lot of people just because they've heard that line so many times and they've seen that so many times on a website. You're really going to want to provide value in exchange for their email. So if that's like people on your email list get to see your music first, there's pre-releases in your email list. They can help you write some of the music in the form of you can send out, hey, I need help with this line. Anyone have an idea? They can help you, with your album, with maybe the cover art or naming your album. An example that I had thought of, and this is just all kind of off the cuff, but if you're still debating on a song title or an album title, you can give people like a poll, like a 3 or 4 options. And what you're doing is you could provide a link, maybe it's in your Instagram bio, and say, vote on our next album title. And to vote on it, you can ask for an email address to finish that vote, right? And so they are interested maybe in voting or at least looking at it, that they're providing something to you because you provided something, right? You're getting their interest or providing value, just like I talked about with, maybe first to hear your new music or things like that. You want to give them a reason to sign up. So from there, right, you're taking this path with them, right? They've seen you, they kind of recognize you because they watch your content. Now they're more invested in you because they've given you something of value to them, which is their email address. You're going to want to ask them to support you in some small way, right? So this is not where you jump and say, buy all my albums, or, here's 3 shirts, I really want you to get that. Those are, lower cost items still, but you're going to want them to make a small commitment. Commitment is tough right now with a lot of people. People don't like committing to things, and so you're going to want to slowly guide them with commitment. And so maybe that's, you do a live stream only for your email list and you ask for tips. Maybe that's you have a private live stream show, period, where there's like a small ticket cost. Maybe you have a Patreon or other account that you have people trying to subscribe to, that you can have like maybe a dollar option or something low. And this is just guiding people down this path to making more commitment to you, but also like you're learning who really wants to support you and who really cares about your music, and that's really valuable. You're seeing these people go through the steps, and you're going to definitely have a lot of people drop off at each step, right? But that's not a big deal, because the people that are going to finally go through all the way are really valuable to you, and you're really valuable to them. They really care about your music, and you really care about the support that they're giving you. So it kind of, it's hand in hand. And a lot of people have probably heard the, if you just have 1,000 supporters, spending, I don't know, what, $100, you'll get, $10,000 or I mean, $100,000, right? There's like this big, talk about that. This is kind of in that same realm where you're trying to build super fans and people that really care and support about your music. So then, like, the next step would be really stepping it up, and then, they've committed via watching something that you have, they've committed for email lists, and they've made a small purchase. You're going to want to then step it up and then ask them, hey, for our new album, we'd love to do a pre-release, pre-order. We just got new merchandise. We'd love for you to support us that way. These people that have kind of followed you on this journey will almost be more than happy to support you, right? Now you're in the realm of making sure you give people enough options and give people a way to support you. You've gone from, instead of just asking right up front, like, stream my music, go buy my album, before they even knew you, right now you've built a relationship with them, and now they care about you and what you're doing, that they actually want to support you. So you're going to want to give them options. And maybe, if you do Patreon, right, that's also giving like maybe a higher tier of pricing for someone. And just kind of stepping back, I had talked about this on Instagram, but like with Patreon, and with anything in sales, you want to give people maybe 2 or 3 options. If you give people 3 options, most likely they're going to go with the middle option. And each option needs to have value, right? It can't just be, like a t-shirt and then a t-shirt and, faster shipping or something. It needs to be like a t-shirt and maybe like an autographed t-shirt and a sticker, and then a t-shirt, the album, and a personal note from you. And you kind of see this when people do crowdfunding, right? You can kind of see them step up. The reason why you want to give people options is because instead of them making the decision of yes or no, like I should buy something if you only have one option versus I shouldn't buy something, you're switching their mindset to what should I buy? In terms of, there's 3 options. I wonder which option would be best for me. Now, on the flip side, you can get too far into that. If you provide them 10 options, you basically make what's called decision fatigue. So they look through, they get overwhelmed, there's too many decisions, and they don't make one. So there's a sweet spot between, maybe 2 and 5 options that you want to kind of stay in. That way people are able to still, purchase from you, but also don't get overwhelmed or don't just, they're cold in or out kind of thing. And then after someone, purchases something from you, they've kind of been pretty much a super fan, so you want to give them, a shout out. You want to really reward them for what they're doing because they will continually buy and support whatever you do now, right? As long as you have a way to continue to stay in contact with them, which is an email, right? Even though you have, an Instagram, Facebook, and, YouTube account or TikTok, sometimes that post that you make is not always going to reach everybody. So by getting their email or phone number, right, you're able to take someone that's just watched something to now has bought a bunch of stuff. You can continually communicate with them and, tell them about what you're doing and show them why it was a great investment that they supported you, right? These people wanted to support you and they are invested in you and want to know, what's going on. So this is all value added to them and to you. That's the kind of the key here with content marketing is that, there's value on both sides. With something like ads or other things, right, there's you spending money on ads and you almost annoying people and saying like, hey, buy my album, and they've never even heard of you. Now there's a right way to do advertising, and that's something that I could talk about in a later video, but it's similar to this content marketing. It's just kind of maybe content marketing on steroids in that you have a larger audience that you can pitch to, versus content marketing kind of builds up slowly and then expands. And like I said, right, content marketing can be a slower game, and it needs consistency, it needs time from you, but it's less expensive, and it's something that, in the interim, right, we had talked about earlier this week about how you're practicing your craft and you're niching down and you're getting really good in your genre. If you're creating content weekly, this also helps you in the long run for live shows or producing or, songwriting, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, so that's kind of a high level overview of music marketing and content marketing specifically. If you guys have any questions, feel free to comment below. And then yeah, like I said, if you want to comment and talk about what else you want to learn, that'd be awesome to hear from you about. And then we'll be putting out a poll on our Instagram and Facebook stories and just asking, if there's something else that you want us to go more in detail about or something completely different, because we really want to help you as an artist. At the studio, everyone that works here is an artist, and we're also trying to figure out how to get our music out there and how to make an income out of our music too. So it's all kind of a journey that we're all doing together, and we'd love to help however way we can. So thanks a lot for your time, guys, and I really appreciate everyone for watching the video and just kind of following along with what we're doing. So thanks a lot.